Ideally, I'd probably be somewhere on the south coast of England. And I'd get up early with the kids and go down to the sea and walk along the sea there. And ideally it would be quite early, but there's a little sort of cafe shed there where you can get tea and a bacon sandwich and things like that. So me and the kids and my wife would all have tea and bacon sandwiches on the beach very early in the morning. And I'd just run up and down the beach, really. They'd run up and down the beach. I'd walk up and down the beach so that I didn't spill my tea. That's a pretty ideal start to the day. That's pretty nice. Well, we're about to start filming episode 4 of series 14 of Inspector Barnaby, so I shall need to really top my to do this is to start learning it and then start filming it. And when that's finished, I need a new shed in the garden because the old one's falling apart. So I'll need to sort that out when I get home. And also, I'm trying to write something. So I'll need to. I find it very hard to concentrate on while I've been filming. So, but if I could do that, that would be great. If I could get this fun little bit of writing done, and a new shed, that would be a very successful week or two after we finish filming. That'd be pretty good. Oh, now you've pricked my conscience now, and I think I'm going to have to do that now. I'm really going to have to do that. I'll get on with it. I will. I promise. I'll do it. Who should give me a call? Oh, that's good, isn't it? Who should give me a call? I can't really think of anybody on a sort of personal basis who I'd like to give me. I can't really think of anybody who, on that sort of basis. They'd be kind of marvellously interesting people to talk to, your sort of fantasy caller sort of people. I wouldn't be able to speak to them at all, I suppose, but somebody like, do you know an English writer called Martin Amis? I'm a great admirer of him. If he could ring me up and have a call, but I wouldn't know what to say to him. I think he's far too clever, really. I'd be very intimidated by him. Yes, he could give me a call. Or Felix Magath, who, of course, is a well-known German football manager and now manager of Fulham FC in London, my own personal team. And sadly, they were relegated last season, so he could call me up I don't know, I'd give him some tips about team selection, but he's got rid of the entire team now and got a new team. So maybe I should call him up and say, well done for getting rid of them. Let's hope the new lot are rather better and let's get promoted this season. So we can call each other and discuss tactics. Funnily enough, I'm a great sort of hummer of tunes, and I inherited it, I think, and I sort of hum to myself quite a lot. I just it's like lift music in my head that then comes out of my mouth. But for about the last 2 years, I seem to have been humming the same tune. I used to hum lots of tunes, and now I am constantly humming a tune called Begin the Begin. I just sort of go off in a little reverie with a little bit of musical backing. So I have kind of inflicted that on when I'm working. I think it's because I'm sort of concentrating, I'm thinking, so I go off to think about something and I think, what does that, how should I say that? And people I'm working with say, you're humming Begin the Begin again. You're still humming Begin the Begin. And I think I've been humming it quite a lot for about 2 years now. It's getting it must be driving people mad. So I think what I have actually, the earworm I have given people is Begin the Begin, which is a beautiful tune. I don't know what I'd give people if I wanted to give them a horrible tune or something terrible. I don't know.
A new one.
A I'd have to think of something new and awful. What would it... How dare you? Awful? How could you? I do find myself humming that sometimes to myself. And just, we used to absent-mindedly humming and go, da-dum-dum, da-dum, and think, oh, God, it was sound like, it's a bit weird to be humming the theme tune to your own show, isn't it? It seems terribly sort of vain or something. No, begin to begin. Not that. Who would I like to be for one day? Well, somebody to do something marvellous. What could you do that was marvellous in a day? I'd like to be Pablo Picasso, probably, for a day. Because I think an incredible thing about Picasso, apart from all the amazing things that he did, and sort of genius, like being a genius, is that just about everywhere you go in the world, you can't go in an art gallery or without finding another load of Picasso. The productivity of somebody who I think was kind of, it's not a sort of a mental illness if you're a genius, but that sort of obsession with whatever it is, making a mark, making something, painting something, carving something, doing that making that thing, and seeing him doing those things. To have been so obsessed for whatever he was, 90 when he died, to have spent 85 years, whatever, like 7 days a week, every day of the year, creating things, and to have created the periods that he did, the Cubism and the Blue period, and all the various things that he did. To be him to have looked at so much of his stuff and admired so much of his stuff and thought that man's just insanely productive and talented and fantastically creative. To be inside that for a day, to think, I'll just make there's a bullfight. That's how did you? There's a marvellous film by his name is Georges Clouzot, the French director, I think, and he's painting on glass. So Picasso's on one side of it painting, and the camera's on the other side. So you're seeing the lines that you create, and he does just kind of take a line and go, oh, that's a dove of peace or something. You go, that's just incredible. It's just an extraordinary ease of, you can just do anything and be something. To have that to know what it's like to be astonishingly good at that, astonishingly creative for a day, that'd be a fascinating insight into what creativity, genius or something. I'd go for him, I'd go for Picasso, and then I'd sell it all. I'd work me just for a day. I'd make everything, and then I'd sell it all, and I'd be rich